Hi dearest, how are you doing today? Remember Moses Bliss wedding and this lovely Fascinator one by I think that's Warri Pikin. Alright, so a client asked me to make it and this is what I made. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments section below. But nevertheless, we are going straight into how to make this pretty Moses Bliss wedding guest Fascinator. Sit back and keep watching and learning. But before we get into that, I would like to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, and for those just joining us, you are most welcome to the Ventcraft channel. We hope to say thank you in our next video because we are sure you would click that subscribe button. And everyone, please do ensure you like, comment and share this video. So here I have my already molded fascinator base to which I've attached an Alice band. If you've been on the channel, you already know how to do that. Then here I have my ashoke. It's not big enough for to cover the fascinator base, so I have joined two ashoke together. If you've been on the channel already, you know how to measure out to know the measurement of what you need to cover this base. What I used here was 10 inches by 10 inches. Okay, so that's why I had to join the fascinator, the ashoke together because you know it's I think 6 inches, so I needed 4 extra. So now I'm placing it to ensure that I'll be able to cover up the fascinator base perfectly well. So I'm going to use my uhu gum and I'm going to put it all around the base like so. And where I'm putting the uhu gum is just below the folding that I've done on the fascinator base because I want the ashoke to overlap that side. So I'm going to allow you to keep watching and learning. Okay, let me give you one small tip here. It's always good to fix your Alice band before you cover your fascinator base because if you do it the other way around, then your sewing might show on top. So do it before you cover the base. Now remember, you must always do your north, south, east and west. That's the placement of your pegs to hold the ashoke to the fascinator base. First of all must be north, south, east and west like you can see me do. And once you're done with that, then you can start grabbing in between the south and the west and like that to ensure that you have a smooth finishing. If you don't do this, when you see your finishing after you have covered your base, it won't be smooth. But you will see after we finish doing this that it comes out looking smooth and lovely. Keep watching and learning. So after you have allowed it to dry up for a while, then you're sure it has stopped, then you take off your pegs. Once you're done with your pegs, you need to take your razor blade and cut the excess, and you're going to be doing this all the way round. Okay, then once you're done, the next thing you need to do is get your bias or trimmings or whatever it might be, and you're going to use this to cover up the part that it laps to the fascinator base to give it a smooth finishing. So keep watching and learning. Okay, so now I want to make the spirals on top. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to be measuring out the length of the spiral. Now the length of the spiral that I used was 46 inches. Okay. After cutting the 46, now I want to get my width. Now my width is half of this ashoke, and the ashoke is actually 6 inches, so half of that gives me 3 inches. So I'm just checking to make sure that half would still give me that. So I'm going to use my measurement tape and my tailor's chalk, and I'm going to mark the 3 inches all the way down the length, 46 inches. Keep watching and learning. Once I'm done, the next thing I'm going to do is take my scissors and I'm going to be cutting through the marks that I gave it to have my 3 inches. Keep watching and learning. Now the next thing you want to do is give it that slanting at the tips, and so I'm measuring out 2 inches like so, and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it slanting to form that lovely edge that the spiral has. So I'm going to do it to the other end as well. Keep watching and learning. Now once you're done with that, the next thing to do is to get this bronze wire. It's 1.2 millimeter gauge. I'm showing you the full. I have to show this part so that if you're in Nigeria, you know the exact type to buy. This is how it comes and is wrapped up. For now, it's being sold 300 naira. The other one is being sold 700. This is 1.2 millimeter gauge, and this is the way you cut it. Scissors, razor blade would have been the best anyway to go through all the parts, but I couldn't find my razor blade at this particular point in time, so you just cut it all the way around. Now if you're not so sure of which hat wire to use for which hat wire, I actually have a course in my academy, the Vent Craft Academy, and it's free of charge, where I tell you about hat wire, all the hat wires that are available and what you can use various ones for. So if you want to join it, you just check the description of this video and you click on the Ventcraft Academy, the link there, and when you get into the link, that is the reception. You just make a request for the free hat wire class and you'll be given the link to enter the class. So let's keep moving, keep watching and learning. Now what I'm doing here is measuring the ashoke that we have cut in that shape, just to have an idea of the hat wire that is going to be on each side, so that I can get the midpoint to start sewing it to the hat wire. So that's what I was doing. Have you been enjoying videos from the Ventcraft channel? If you have, then could you go a little bit further and click the join button? Now clicking the join button means you want to be a member, not just a subscriber of the channel, but a member. And when you click the join, you'll be requested to make just a token to assist with the development of my channel, the Ventcraft. Okay, so I've gotten the part I want on each side and I'm bending the hat wire. You can see why we make use of this hat wire. It's so easy to bend. Can you see? So I'm bending it so that it will form the curve that I can use to start sewing. Keep watching and learning. So I had to pause a little on the sewing because I noticed it frills easily, and I decided to use fire to burn all the edges so that I can sew it easily. But I think if you use this, there's this machine that is used to cut ashoke. Once you use that, you won't have this issue. My knowledge, that's what I feel. Next thing you want to do is you start sewing it all the way around. Notice something that I'm doing. I'm still folding the ashoke a bit over the hat wire before I sew it. Now this to ensure that it doesn't still fray. Do you understand? And the ashoke is held firmly by the thread, the needle and thread that I'm using, the thread rather. Okay, it's not being held by the needle is helping the thread to go through it. So keep watching. I will do fast, a fast pace and also a slow pace so that you see how I'm folding it and get the hang of it. So this I'm going to do all round this ashoke that we have cut. Remember, this was a 46 length ashoke that was cut. The width is 3 inches, and then remember we cut the two edges 2 inches to slant to give us that lovely curve at the edge. Keep watching and learning. Okay, so now you can see that I've sewn it all the way around. You can see the hat wire is everywhere on that 46 by 3 inches with the curve at the edge. Now I'm getting another ashoke and I'm going to use this ashoke to cover up this ashoke that hat wire has been sewn. Now I actually thought I could make use of just this like this, but finally when I was sewing in the sewing machine it couldn't fold easily like this, but this is the way you need to do it. So I had to sew another one to combine to this to make the width 12 inches instead of 6 inches. But this is the way you're going to be folding. You put this lap like this, you fold it like this, then you bend the other edge on top of it like this, and you're going to sew it round. Then also you're going to have to slant the edges. I would still do that so that you would see how you're going to sew it in so that it would form that that curve. So keep watching, you will get to see how I finally did the cutting at the edges. I'm still just testing it to ensure that it covers up well. Actually, when I was testing it on the design board, seriously, I thought that the 6 inches width would cover it up. So if your 3 inches, if you reduce your 3 inches by probably like 2.8 thereabout, then I think this should work. But that other one, this 3 inches didn't work with this one. So if you want to like economize your ashoke instead of having to use another full length of like 48 inches, because this one that you have to fold it in has to be larger than the previous, because you're going to fold in the edges to sew also. So you're going to make it like 48 inches. So that means you will need 248 inches. So if you want to economize, then just reduce this by a little, like you make it the width 2.6, so that this ashoke will be able to get through it. So this is how it comes out after you have sewn it in the sewing machine, and it looks pretty, doesn't it? You can see the curve at the two ends. Now I wanted to have a smooth curve, you know, the spiral being the same size and all that. So I took this capping spray and I started curving it around it, of course expecting that it would take shape immediately, but no, the wire was like, no madam, you cannot do it like that. But anyway, it helped me to get kind of like the same measurements, kind of like the same curve, so to speak. So after I did it for a while, I started using my hand to fold the wire itself. You have to use your hand and bend the wire and let it take into shape. Now this is about like 5 minutes of work with the wire. So I'm going to allow you to watch it so that you get the hang of it, of how you curve it, you bend it, you shape it, and all that, and ensure that the spiral comes out looking lovely and pretty. Even sometimes I have to extend the spiral and so forth, but let me stop talking and allow you to keep watching and learning. Now, finally, we are done with having our perfect spiral ashoke. So the next thing you want to do is attach it to the edge of your fascinator base that you have already covered with your ashoke. Now, the first thing you want to do is to sew it at the middle of the edge of the ashoke. So that's what I'm going to start doing first of all. I would sew it at that edge, not the edge, sorry, the middle. So keep watching and learning. After you're done with the middle, you're going to sew it at the edge also. This to ensure that it laps well on the fascinator edge. So that's what I'm doing here. Then you go to the other edge and do the same. I'm sure you didn't notice that it has feathers. Let me show you the view again. This is it. So it does have an ostrich feather at the edge spiking up like so. So I'm inserting mine like so. It comes, you can see where it comes from the second layer, or would I say the first layer. And then I'm going to sew it in there so that it doesn't change its direction. I'm going to sew it through the ostrich feather first of all, and then sew it across so that it sits firmly and keeps curving up like so. Keep watching and learning. Okay, as you can see, it also has stones. So now I'm going to be using B6000 to attach the stones, because B6000 is what glues the stones firmly to material. So after you fixed it like so, after I've done it all the way around the spiral, the ashoke that I've turned into a spiral, you should ensure you go back and you start pressing it down so that you ensure that it sticks firmly. So keep watching and learning. Alright, then of course as you look at the back, you will see you have threads everywhere. So I'm going to use this purple flower or plum flower, deep onion flower, whatever the color is. I'm going to use it to cover up, not whatever the color is, but something matching to what you have there. So I'm going to use it to cover up all the sewing down so that when you turn the fascinator to the back, it still looks pretty. And that's how you make this pretty, gorgeous fascinator. If you enjoyed this video and you gained value, do give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button, and after you click that, click the bell so you get notified when I upload new videos, and check out this next video.